It's about that time. Here we are. Boom! The Astra boys. There's another episode. There's another time. You damn right. This is what you wanted. You got it. All 30 subscribers. What, Joe?
Well, as soon as you started talking, you started breaking up bad.
You started breaking up bad.
You went blacker than Anissa.
Right.
So
stay still.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I also want to thank God, man.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world, here it is. This is another episode of Astra Boys Sports Podcast, streaming live from Kansas. You guys from Kansas. As you can see, it's a little different. I'm a little remote today. These fellas are in studio. There's a reason for that. I'll explain here in a little bit. But first, I'd like to introduce myself. I am KC Waltz. Sorry, T. I'm only going to be temporary. I just want to hear, set up. I just want to make sure that I'm on this freaking episode. Apparently, these guys want to do another episode.
Why you're not here with us in studio today?
Yeah, I'll do that, and I feel like there's quite a delay, too, so I think you guys are delaying, I'm on a delay. So the reason why I'm not here is because I'm at home. Tomorrow morning, I got to hop on a flight early in the morning. Then when I come back, I'll let everybody know how it went in the very brand new MCI airport. So I'm headed to the Dominican Republic, and I'm going to give first-hand accounts on how it went, how many times I threw up, let's see how many times I got in trouble with Monica, and then we'll go over all those details. First, we're going to set it up. These guys are going to take over the show. They are going to cover the NBA results, who's in, who's out, who's still in, and who's out, any kind of injuries out there. We're also going to cover the NFL schedule that came out for the Chiefs. There is a lot of controversy. Some of these guys are season ticket holders, so they want to talk about that. Other than that, T.I.'s going to take the helm. Joe's got it. Hooters, and then Ken's going to be there. We're going to have Risky Raymond's picks. And then that's pretty much it, fellas. I trust you guys, and I think you guys are going to have a great show.
Better, bud.
All right. So, guys,
let's jump right into it.
Get into it, guys. Ken Chapman, you're going to tell us about the upcoming Chiefs schedule. Is that right?
Absolutely. So as everybody knows, the Chiefs released their schedule for the 2023 year, opening at home in Jacksonville. These are our home games, of course. Chicago Bears, Denver Broncos, Chargers, a game that rubbed a lot of us the wrong way. The Miami Dolphins going to Germany to play. That Tyreek Hill, what do you want to call it?
That was going to be the big ticket game right there.
Absolutely.
That was going to be the big ticket
game.
Tyreek
Hill homecoming with as much trash as he's been talking lately through social media.
He was talking trash. Chris Jones was talking trash back.
Snead jumped in. Absolutely.
I mean, it was the buildup was there. That stadium would have been electric for that game. I'm really disappointed in that for sure.
After that, we go to our bye week. Then we have our Super Bowl opponents, the Philadelphia Eagles. We go to we play the Buffalo Bills, Las Vegas Raiders, and then we end at home against the Cincinnati Bengals, I believe.
Right. So this schedule, we have 6 nationally televised games, 2 Thursdays, 2 Mondays, and 2 Sunday nights. Mm-hmm. I think that's the max for all teams. You can only do those for 2. Like 6 national TV games is the most you can have.
I don't mind the Monday night ones. I'm not a fan of the Thursday night games.
Thursday night always sucks. I don't know, man. It throws everybody off.
Well, maybe that's why they put us in the slot twice, because we didn't. Did we play any Thursday night games last year?
Yes. Yeah. It used to be like everybody got one. They kind of changed it, but the first one is the opening season, so that's not too bad.
Against Detroit. Yeah.
So that one's not too bad.
The next game, I think we got the Jets. The one that I was
Jets is a Sunday night game, right?
Oh, I'm just talking about the primetime game.
Oh, yeah.
So then we got the Jets. And then the one I was kind of baffled over is the Denver Broncos. Like, am I the only one thinking that they were ass last year? So why the hell are we showing them on national TV? I mean, they had some of the lowest ratings.
Man, we might
granted, we'll bring them up because everybody wants to see the Chiefs, but
because of Sean Payton.
Oh, that's right. You're absolutely
They
right.
are pumped about Sean Payton.
So with Sean Payton coming into the building, right, they feel like a lot of the terrible play that we've been seeing from Russell Wilson, a lot of people think that's going to turn around right away. I heard that he already lost his personal office and his extra parking spaces.
Yep.
And
Those
his
were taken
personal
away
coach.
day one.
He had like a personal quarterback coach too.
Yeah,
He had
so
everybody that was affiliated with Russell Wilson that he liked out of. They're not welcome in Denver. Basically, Sean Payton cleaned house. Who was that? McDaniels that did that to Tony G when he was here in Kansas City. Basically, Tony G had a special parking spot and it's like, hey, no, everybody's the same here. I think Sean Payton went into Denver.
I knew I liked Travis Kelce better.
Wait, the Chiefs have special parking spots at the practice facility.
I think they should.
Not for players, but for coaches. They do.
Yeah, but I'm talking. This was back when McDaniels took over and Tony G was still here.
Who's McDaniels?
Oh, not McDaniels.
I don't know who you're talking about, but it sounds like you're talking about one of the assistant coaches
Was it-
for the
No,
Chiefs.
no.
Was
No,
it
the head coach?
Well, he was the golf coach too. He played golf. He never played football. That guy.
Yeah, the younger guy, not Edwards. No.
He
All
was
right.
the coordinator for the Steelers and the Browns.
Hey,
his
so,
name? What's his name?
Not sure. Let's see.
Haley,
Todd
Todd Haley.
Todd
Todd
Haley.
Haley.
Todd
There we go.
Haley, yeah.
Thank you, Raymundo.
Hey, I know about that for a reason.
Right. Hey guys, so who do we have up on the slate? Who are we playing in week 1?
The Lions.
Week 1, we're opening against the Lions on Thursday night.
Is that why are the Lions opening the season? Opening
Again,
the season.
we had this discussion a little bit earlier. The Lions ended on a streak. I think they won like 8 games in a row or something
Okay.
stupid like that.
We
They
could've-
made a serious run at the
We
end.
could have opened the season with the Eagles, the Bills, the Bengals. That would have been a big. Hey, this is a big game.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot, but I mean, from both perspectives, from the Chiefs' perspectives, from the Eagles' perspective, you know, you don't want to play your best opponent in the very first game. You know, you don't want to go down early.
I mean,
is the
I
way
see
I
that,
look
but
at it.
usually they have like a big matchup to open the season.
Yeah.
That might make sense. Maybe they don't want one of those teams starting out 0-1 to start the season. They need to
Especially-
build up that rivalry.
I
throughout the
I
year.
could possibly see the Eagles game, but you don't want to see the Bengals. You don't want to see the Bills when that early in the season can determine playoff implications. You know what I mean? You seeding in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
instead of the Bengals, we get week 17.
All right.
Yeah.
But let's not look past the
And I kinda like that.
Lions.
no,
Like we
they're a
said, they
decent
finished
team.
really good. Amon St. Brown is coming on. He's really turning into a great receiver. Jared Goff started playing kind of back to that form. I
He
don't.
played solid. He played
Yeah,
solid.
he
last
got
year.
back to his solid form. From the I think what was it his first year with the Rams? He played a little bit more up to that level. So we'll see. But I don't think they could handle what we have ready for. 'em.
Absolutely not.
So we got some games going overseas. Is that right?
Well, we have a game going overseas. We're going, to Germany. They call it Kansas
the
City's
Tyreek Hill game.
That's our
unofficial
area.
home game. Yeah.
In Germany, that's our area. Yeah. I mean, they're just trying to build up a fan base in Germany, more money. No, that's how it goes. It's all about the money.
Yep. So, do we have anything else on the Chiefs schedule that our viewers might want to know?
I think they like the NFL has the scheduling released down pat, man. They kind of leaked it out for a few days.
Little by little,
Oh
just to
man,
tease you
they had
and
everybody fired
just
up about the
enough.
schedule, man. The NFL knows what they're doing.
We left off, we have we play the Broncos and also on the primetime games, the Eagles, Green Bay. You're going to get to see Jordan Love. And then, of course, the Patriots
forward to
after
that.
those games that we've had. with them.
So, what do you think a good road game is to go to? I know we are talking about Minnesota, 6-hour drive. They're in a dome. Wait, are you down with that, Ken? Are you trying to bullshit?
Well, that
bullshit.
that-
all right, it's bullshit. All right,
that would also depend on my son's football schedule. You got to
Hey.
remember,
Yeah, I
he's
got
going to
you,
be
I got you.
playing. So he's
That-
got Saturdays. If he happens to be up in Sioux City that weekend and it's another 4 or 5 hours to get to Minnesota, I'm absolutely down for that.
That 6 hours is too much.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay,
You got to remember, there's going to be a wife included with me, so that's cuts into drive.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to go to Minnesota with me. I think our last trip was pretty great, wasn't it?
Our last trip to Minnesota was very great.
Have you guys checked out Las Vegas's new stadium yet?
Like inside, like been
No,
there?
like been to a game.
No. It looks amazing.
Hey, that would be a fun road trip.
It would, but their tickets are ridiculous.
They're very proud of that
Parlay
new
that.
stadium that they're putting up
Raymond,
there.
do you know what the tickets go for in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Cheap seats. 700 just to get in the door.
They're very proud of it because we looked into it a couple different times, and if I recall, I wanted to say
I knew they were
cheapest
up
we saw was
there.
like
Yeah.
5. The best option we would probably have is finding a Raiders fan that would be willing to do a even swap, like they want to come to Kansas City, watch a game, possibly get a swap with them somewhere in.
That'd be
Las
like
Vegas.
a whole lot of trust.
That'd be a whole lot of.
I don't know about that.
Last time we were in Vegas, I ran into a Vegas fan. He's actually from Oakland, and he followed the team. Him and his wife go every year, and they still go to Raiders games. They're still season ticket holders, and I actually talked to him about that. He goes, "Oh yeah, we'd be down."
So do they just like fly in every week?
Yeah.
What's the probably like an hour flight or
45 minutes,
45
something like
minutes,
that. It's nothing at all for them. And flights are cheap because I'm coming out of LA or Oakland or I don't know what airport they came out of, but to Vegas, absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. What we got going on in the NBA there, Tony?
Well, we got a lot going on in the NBA, right? So right now, the Knicks are playing the Heat. They're up 10-8 if you happen to be watching this live, but you're not because we're not live.
Because we're not live.
We're not there
But
yet. We're not there yet.
The Knicks are leading the series behind Jalen Brunson. They're up 3-2 right now. So this is a very important game 6 for Miami. Next we
Miami's leading the series, bud.
Yeah. Is that what he said?
Oh,
He said no.
I had
he said
a,
Brunson was leading 3-2.
You're right. Thank you. I misread my notes here. So Boston and Philadelphia, they're all tied up at 3. They got game 7 to be played this Sunday. I don't think the time has been decided yet, so keep an eye out for that. And then we had the Denver Nuggets closed out the Suns on Thursday night, and they're awaiting the winner of the Lakers versus Warriors series.
I love Denver.
Hey, real quick, while we're talking about Denver Nuggets, did you guys happen to catch that Jokic? I don't know if I'm saying the name right. One of you guys go ahead and save me here.
Jokic?
That
Jokic?
guy, yeah. So that guy, he got into a nice interaction with the Phoenix Suns owner.
So I seen it. It didn't look like there was too much going on, but one, why is Jokic even over there?
He wanted the ball. He wanted the ball back out of the
okay.
crowd.
Went out.
But then
He wanted the ball
and
back.
then plus, why did the fan? Because he was a fan at the time.
Yeah.
Why did he not give the ball back? Why was he trying to hold on to it?
He was kind of petty. He
Yeah.
was being a little petty with the ball.
So they were both being a little petty. But I don't think nothing really came of it. I mean, he got his little fine.
No,
I
they
think it was
they
good.
were
It was
seen
good.
the next game, hugging it out, apologizing, whatever was said. I don't know what was said, but they kind of squashed it, let it all go.
Yeah, $25,000 fine. Yep.
Yep.
So,
I mean, the way I look at it, you're the owner of the team. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, but at the same time, Jokic did put a good spin on it. He was like, "Hey, the NBA, you're supposed to be protecting us as players from
he's
the
a fan.
fans. Even though he is the owner, he's still a fan when he's up in the stands."
If he was
So,
any other person, he's ejected, right?
I would imagine so.
He would have been ejected, I think.
It's if the player takes exception to it. Like,
Actually,
there are times when Russell Westbrook points somebody out, or
I know
what I mean.
Yeah.
As long as the player's cool about it, they'll just say, "Hey, calm down," whatever.
I don't think they would have kicked out an actual fan attending. And here's why I say that. So if you look at what happened, he held on to the ball. So would that be a thing if the ball lands like in somebody attending the game, if that lands in their lap and they just happen to hold on to the ball for a few extra seconds? Does that really warrant kicking them out? I don't think that would happen, but I don't know. I like the forearm check. That guy, he looked like he was a Mark Cuban clone.
yeah.
I'm
He's trying.
I'm sure there were some choice words being
But-
said on both parts.
Right.
So.
So
Speaking of, did you have something to say on that? real quick?
no, I was just gonna say since we're on the NBA, let's go ahead and get the
Lakers Warriors series. Let's get people up to date on that
Okay.
just real quick. So as you guys know, the Lakers are leading that 3-2. We got game 6 tonight. And without further ado,
Let's go ahead and get Risky Ray on here with the Raymundo's
Risky
lock of the week.
Ray. He didn't look too good last week. I hope his picks are a little bit better this week.
That's why this advice is free.
okay, that was just for last week's pick, but we are looking forward to some better picks for this week.
Oh, show. That gives Ken time to refill as well.
Where's the office bag? Mine is not watered down like yours.
Mine is watered down.
Going up.
All right, here we have Raymond with us for Raymundo's Locks of the Week.
Come on there, T.I. It's Risky Ray.
Risky
Ray.
Ray.
Yeah, I think I like Risky Ray a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we debated over All Day Ray, which I kind of liked, but Risky
Kinda
Ray.
like All Day Ray.
Waltz came on with his intro and said Risky Ray, so we had to go with it.
Hey,
Hey, I'm fine with that.
if Ray can get all of his picks right this week,
He's a-
I'm good with All Day Ray.
Yeah.
Hey, you get all your picks
Hey.
right. You All Day Ray as far as
When
I'm
he goes
concerned.
4 for 4, he's All Day Ray. That's
All Day Ray,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Come on, let's
All
go.
right. All right, well, it's all on you, buddy. What we got? What we got going on this week?
Well, I mean, if you look at the first game right now that's going on, you better hope that the Knicks keep on scoring, because then you can get Miami at better odds. Hopefully, you can get them in the plus zone.
I always like doing the in-game betting.
Uh-huh.
I haven't done it on basketball, but football, like when the Chiefs were down at halftime,
Yeah.
I bet all the money I had on my thing. Yeah, that was the bet.
That's the way to go. Live betting is definitely the way to go, especially in basketball.
What's the
Get
apps
it
you
in
guys
half.
like betting on? Just so our
So
community knows.
I do Barstool only because last year we went to Iowa before it was legal here, and that was the app that we got on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've just been too lazy to get on any of these other apps.
Hey, you're loyal. Nothing wrong with that.
Right? You know what? I heard some good things about Barstool. David, one of our sponsors from Stanley Wood Products, I think he uses a Barstool.
Is he a Barstool guy?
Yeah, he's a Barstool guy. Yeah, I know he's an investor. But he loves the Barstool stuff. Me personally, I do FanDuel, just because of it's easy for the money to come back and forth, and I'm sure all the apps are easy to go back and forth.
Right.
But it seems that FanDuel and DraftKings are one and the same. You can get better odds on DraftKings sometimes, vice versa.
The odds are different because I know Nisa. What do you do? DraftKings. I know, like when she's doing hers on DraftKings, is like, oh, my odds are this. Well, like, my odds are this. Like in different situations, maybe Barstool had better, and sometimes DraftKings had better. It was pretty random. Really.
Here is one of the one things that is definitely annoying. So right now, if I'm on FanDuel and I want to parlay the over under and pick a money line winner, I cannot do that on FanDuel. However, I can do that on DraftKings.
Hey, that's a great, some great advice you threw out there. So a lot of people may not have known that. So
Right.
Solid stuff. So we got the first game going. We got the New York Knicks and then Miami Heat. What's your take on this game, Ray?
Well, I'm looking for a big game from Jimmy Butler.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Risky Ray.
Oh,
He got it.
Okay.
He got it halfway right that
we're gonna
time.
say it every time. All right, Risky Ray, send it home.
Sorry, buddy. Go ahead. It's all you.
I'm looking for a big game from Jimmy Butler here. His
Jimmy Buckets. Yeah.
Jimmy Buckets. His over under on his points is 28.5, and
That's a big number.
that is a big number, and I got him at 20 plus. It's a Raymundo lock there.
You writing
Yeah.
these down, Joe?
Yep.
He's gonna get his 20 points. He's
So we
definitely
got
gonna get his 20
so the
points.
first game is the Heat with Butler getting 20.
I
All
also
right.
I also like the Heat money line. Lock it.
Oh, lock it on the money line. Yep.
Lock
I
the
like
money
that too.
line.
All right.
Who's the favorite on that game, by the way?
The Heat are favored by 6. It was 6.5,
Okay.
5.5,
Yep.
but it ended up at 6.
I always like doing money line too. I don't like taking points.
You know, NBA, it's really tough to take points. I mean,
Yeah,
unless,
man.
Unless you're
Yeah.
gonna take an underdog or something. Let me get logged in. Let me show you what I have for my other lock. All right, here it is. But Jimmy Butler has 4 points already. Another lock, and you're gonna get plus 170 on this. This is not big on odds. I try to shoot for anywhere plus 2.5 to 3 if I'm picking 2 to
Yeah.
3 picks.
I mean, if you're in the plus whatever, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, for sure. But right now the 205 over 205 is hot sauce right now
In the Heat Knicks game,
in the Heat Knicks game. Yes,
over 205.
over 205.
That seems pretty low.
It is really low.
Oh,
It is
man.
really low.
Yeah,
I
I'll take the over on that. Absolutely.
I think they're betting on the Knicks not to show up this game.
Well,
I think the other thing they may be looking at too is when you have a game where one of the teams is on the brink of elimination, they're going to play their defense is usually what you're going to see them pick up the intensity with. It's almost always going to be the defense. So maybe they're looking at that line thinking, hey, because it is an elimination game for one of these teams, it's going to be a little bit more defensive minded. So we'll see. It's my take.
All right. Well, let's move on to the Lakers Warriors. What you got in that one, buddy?
Well, you know what? I was going back and forth with this, and I told you before, it's a coin flip, man. I mean, really, go with your favorite player. Don't shake your head at me. Go with your favorite player. If you're a LeBron lover, or go with LeBron. If you're a LeBron hater, then go with Steph. I'm neither. But I would say that.
So you're saying that you wouldn't bet this game?
Correct. I would not bet this game, but I did.
Hey, that's why you're Risky Ray, man. That's why you're Risky Ray.
But time and time, you made a good point up a couple weeks ago. The Warriors are one of the worst road teams in the NBA. God, they're god awful. I think they went 11 road wins, maybe, and 30-something losses.
Yep.
But it's a game 6. And we're enjoy this game 6 because we're not gonna get to see Steph versus LeBron James. In another game 6, possibly for the rest of LeBron's career.
Yeah, I think they were saying this is the first time ever that they've both won 4 championships. And that's the first time that 2 players with 4 championships have met.
Right.
So
I'm talking about Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is should show up big. Steph is always going to show up. That dude just always shows up.
Yeah. So Thompson usually plays he's in the past. He's always been a big game 6 guy, right?
Exactly. I mean, he's putting up 25 plus points, 30 points. I think he maybe put up almost 40 in a couple game 6s on their historic championship run. So, needless to say, I do like the Warriors at plus 3.5.
So you're not giving. This is not going to go down on your record, but you did bet Warriors plus 3.
I did. Yes.
All right.
Yes, I did bet the Warriors.
So for the lock, in case I missed it, for the lock for the Warriors,
that was not a lock.
That was not a lock.
Okay.
No,
not a lock.
No lock on that one.
No lock on
Okay.
that
Coin
game.
flip.
Okay.
Coin flip.
So you're on a coin
Yes.
flip on that. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay, so let's move on to the 76ers Celtics game.
Oh, I actually, you know what? This one, you can't hate either team. I mean, obviously, Embiid, from Kansas, we want to see him get a championship. We've seen him get an MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams are just very likable. I mean, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, those guys together are just, unstoppable when they're on fire. I mean, Jason Tatum's had a worst start in the past 3 games, like 0 for 10, and they're still winning games. So I mean, like, the dude hadn't even caught fire yet, and they're still winning. So 76ers have to be careful, but it's all on Embiid now to go out and get this dub to get to the next step since 2001 for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, he needs to go out and have that big MVP game.
Yes.
Like, I'm the MVP. Here we go. I'm taking this series.
Yes, he needs to prove it. So, with that being said, my heart kind of goes with Philly, but I also really like Boston because those guys can really play, but and they also have a deeper bench. But I just something tells me, I just feel like it's Philly's year, Philly.
I did.
Yeah,
I thought that too until they lost last night.
Yeah, I feel
at home.
They did blow it last night. They did not. They did not shoot well. They did not play well, and obviously they played defense on Tatum. But other than that, he was still getting to the buckets. They were missing wide open layups.
So, and the Phillies have lost the World Series, the Super Bowl, soccer, and now is it going to be NBA? Now, all those other 3 teams was in the championship game.
That's right.
So, Phillies, they're getting there, but they're not getting it done.
So they're a hell of a runner-up.
So
they're the runner-up of the year.
So you're telling me that they're going to beat Boston and then lose in the championship?
Yeah, to the Lakers.
Yes.
There
We'll
you
see.
go.
We'll see.
There we
The
go.
Lakers.
All
Oh,
right.
man.
So, do we have any other games on? No, I think that covers all the
it.
games.
So for the NBA, your locks are Heat money line.
Yep.
Butler over 20.
Yep.
And over the 205.
Over 205. Yes.
All right.
Those
So
are
is there
my locks.
anything else we're betting on this week? Any other locks you had?
You know what? I really haven't been diving in too much. Like I said, I love the live betting, but I think I'm going to wait until these series actually finish up, because then you can get a better pulse on
And they
it.
do the conference finals.
Yeah, do the conference
yeah.
finals. You get a better pulse on it. You get to see who's injured. Who has more resting time. There's just game sevens are so again risky.
Yeah, man.
Game
yeah.
sevens are so risky, and it's really tricky. They're really tricky.
So it's going to be the Celtics 76ers is going to be in Boston. So I mean, they got the home crowd going there.
I do feel like Denver is going to represent the West. I do feel like that. I do
You
feel
think
like
Denver's going to come out on top?
I mean,
over either Lakers or Warriors, because either one of those teams are going to have experience. Obviously, the Warriors, last year's champs. I mean, they won 4 times. You get the Lakers, you're going to have LeBron and AD. Denver's always been that team that's almost there, right?
Right.
Is this going to be the year? Is this going to be the year?
I mean, you saw Jamal Murray last night. He was sick.
He's been balling out,
and like,
man.
no, not
He
like
has.
like sick, like, oh, he was sick, but no, he literally was sick. He had a fever, and he was like,
I
he
thought you
came
meant
out,
sick, like he was balling.
No, he was balling. He was sick,
But he
but
was
he was
sick and
also
sick.
sick and
Oh,
sick.
okay,
Yeah. He pulled a Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
So and then Aaron Gordon stepping up. I mean, they got a 3-headed monster over there. So,
Hey, Ken, can we get your assistance on the computer screen, please?
Little click action, please.
So Denver is there's no slouches over there. They got it going on. They got it on. They can definitely represent the West.
Yeah.
However, if Jimmy Butler pulls this game off tonight, he could mess around and pull a Michael Jordan. I don't have anybody else to play with, or Kobe Bryant. I don't have anybody else to play with besides Paul Gasol.
Right.
Championship run.
Do you
You
want to know
really
a
can.
fun fact about Jimmy Butler?
I do. Or yeah, sure. Go ahead.
He eats his desserts first. Every meal, he eats dessert first.
That's not unusual.
Well, that was worth sharing.
Yeah.
I thought you was going to bring up how you thought he looked like Michael Jordan again.
That's
No,
what I thought.
no.
That's what I was waiting for.
No.
That's what I thought.
I didn't bring that up the first time.
Oh, who did bring that up? Was that
Who do you think? Ken.
that was fucking. Okay, my apologies. That everybody was Ken.
No.
Played your music.
Yes.
I love it.
All right. So you guys heard it. We got Risky Ray's Locks of the Week.
All right. I just
Lock
want
it.
to give a big thanks out to my man Bob Green. He shared and liked our podcast and put it on his Facebook. Man has like 1,500 friends, so hopefully we're out there. You're seeing us. And his man cave is amazing. And then hopefully we'll do a show from his man cave on the man cave tour that we're going to have coming up closer to the beginning of the Chiefs season.
So I thought that was really cool. So for any of you that happened to watch, we put out a man cave clip last week. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that, go and watch it. The man's Bob Green. He's been a faithful Chiefs fan for many years. He's been highlighted on local news channels, and he really has an amazing man cave. And so there are also going to be some pictures in the last video we've seen, so you guys can check that out. And we will be eventually going there to either do a podcast or just do a tour. So
Do you know what else Bob Green likes to do? He likes to partake in the J7. He likes to get a drink at the
Is that
Giant.
right?
He does, man. He
we're going to
does.
have to get Bob Green up to J7.
Oh yeah, we have to buy him a drink.
That's perfect.
I mean, it'd be all of $2 for him to drink all night.
Whoa now.
J7 is the spot for all of the Astra people to hang out. It is the spot.
Cheap drinks, good service sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends on who you get.
And we do have some other people in mind that we've been talking to that we may be doing a man cave tour as well, and a couple other people that we haven't reached out to yet, but your invite might come soon.
And if you're wanting to get on the man cave tour, go ahead and hit one of us up. We'll take a look and see what we can do.
Yeah, forward some pictures along, get us an idea what you got, what you have going on, and we can submit it and let probably the fans vote on it, see where we need to end up and check out.
I like that idea, Ken. Nice contribution.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what he did.
I tried to hit your song button, but it was like right at the very end. So the timing's off now. Let's just go ahead and put that back down there. So, Ken, you were on the sidelines when Raymundo was given his locks of the week. I want to know, what are your thoughts on the Laker Warriors game that's on later tonight?
That
The
risky
Laker-
Ray.
the risky way that he did not want to touch.
He wouldn't shy away from that game.
I have no problems giving my opinion on that. If LeBron James can check his ego like he's been doing this whole series and be a facilitator for AD, for Schroeder, for Reeves, and everybody else, he does not have to be the man.
Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie Walker blew up, what, 15, 16 points in the fourth quarter?
Yeah,
Who the hell is
All
Lonnie
in the
Walker
fourth. Hey, that was the Lonnie Walker game. That was probably the most important moment for the Lakers in the entire series. Lonnie Walker.
The Lakers have had someone different show up. Who's the Hamachi? What's his name?
Rashimura. I said it wrong. I already knew. Hachimura. There you go.
Because he's been a couple games that he balled out.
Gonzaga, I believe. Ryu Hachimura.
Yep.
But yeah, if LeBron can check his ego this game and not be the man and just let everybody play within themselves, I think, as much as it pains me to say it, I think the Lakers will actually win it.
That's funny because I thought you was going to be Warriors all the way, man.
No. Don't get me wrong. I would rather see the Warriors win the game because I think it's a better matchup against Denver. But if it comes down to it, I think as long as as long as LeBron stays within himself and just did what he did the past few games, pass the ball, take the open shots when he has to take the open shots, doesn't do too much, they can absolutely win this game tonight.
I don't know. The Warriors don't have an answer for Kevin Durant, though. So even if the Nuggets go there, I just don't see. I feel like it'll be the obviously it's going to be the Nuggets or it's going to be the Lakers. I do not see the Warriors closing the series out. So, or actually coming back in the series, I should say.
The only thing I have to say of that is Steph's played and shot like crap lately. The past couple games, he was 3 or 4 of 12 or 15.
But dude, he still had a triple double. You see all those rebounds he was getting. He was dishing assists. This was in the win, of course.
Yeah. I'm talking this last game,
and I think that was that not the last game?
No,
it was the game before.
2 games ago.
It was 2 games ago.
Yeah, he had like 29 points. He still put up points. He still got his hope you can just contain Steph, but
yeah,
he still got his points. I think if he comes out and he's shooting lights out like Steph Curry typically does, it's going to be a different game. But like I said, the experience and the players and the depth that both teams had, I can see why Raymundo thinks it's a tough pick. But like I said, LeBron is one of the best, if not the best, all-around player there is and has been. Yeah, absolutely. And that's my thing with him. He is the best all-around player. In my eyes, he's not the GOAT. He just doesn't have that killer mentality, but he doesn't have to.
Okay, and we'll get into that later. He doesn't have the killer mentality, but we'll definitely get into that later.
I kind of agree with Ken on that part because I'm a LeBron over Jordan fan, but because LeBron is the best all-around player there's ever been.
Right.
But Jordan, he can get to another level. Here's
my one thing. Me and my son debate this all the time. Here's my one thing that we constantly kick around.
Is Keaton LeBron?
Keaton is Jordan. Keaton is a 17-year-old kid who still believes that Jordan, Larry Bird.
Well, I thought you was Jordan too.
Guy, I am. I absolutely am.
What are you debating?
Here's what
with the son. Yes.
Well, this is where because he talks to his buddies at school and they're all LeBron guys. So this is where it comes down to. It was like, so you have Jordan with the flu game. You have Jordan with multiple game winners. You have all these stories about Jordan going out, drinking, gambling, playing 36 holes of golf, coming out, dropping 40 on people. What kind of a story do you have of that with LeBron? Like, what cool LeBron story is there?
Well, here's a cool LeBron story. He invests in schools, his community, as Michael Jordan's investing in prisons.
That is true. And so real quick, you made an interesting.
It sounds like Jordan's a fucking dick. Yeah, LeBron's a pretty good family man.
Pretty good family man. That is true. If you think about all
that has dick shit to do with basketball.
He came in, listen. But when you come into the NBA and you're put on the pedestal that LeBron James was put on, right? Mm-hmm. And you come out for 19 straight seasons carrying all those Cleveland Cavalier teams on his back, right? That is grueling. He didn't take any years off like Michael Jordan did. He took a year off in the height of it all. right before he came back, and he has been doing it with all this pressure for 19 straight years. Okay, so I think you got to give him a lot of credit for that. But I want to bring up a point,
I have
right?
no problem with that.
And
yeah.
I think Joey even kind of agreed with you. He's like, you almost made it sound like he's not as clutch as, or he don't have that killer instinct. Let me give you guys, because you like stats, right? So I'm going to give you a couple interesting stats to start. So LeBron James actually has the most buzzer beaters, 5, in the NBA playoff history. There's no one else ahead of him. LeBron James also, for his career, shot higher from the field by a pretty big margin over Kobe Bryant and also over Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Hasn't he played more playoff games though?
Who's that?
LeBron.
Yeah. He has played more playoff games. So what does that mean? So Michael Jordan played 15 seasons. Out of the 15 seasons, he made it to 6 finals. LeBron James has been to the finals 53% of his career. If he makes it to the finals again this year, that will be 55% of the time over a 20-year career. That's guy amazing. Is in the finals. And you said that he doesn't have the killer instinct, but yet he's made the most buzzer beater shots in NBA playoff history. Okay. There's another fun fact that people will look at. And what that is when you look at there's a minute or less left and somebody makes a shot to either take the lead or to tie the game. The record, there's only 2 people in the NBA that's over 80. Number 1 is Kobe Bryant with 88. Number 2 is LeBron James with 81. So if you say that he didn't have that killer instinct that Michael Jordan had, right? Why is it that he has made shots in more clutch moments than Michael Jordan?
Okay. So you said he's been in the final or in the finals 53%. And he's been in the league, 18 years? So he's been in the finals, 10 times, 11 times?
In a row.
10 in a row, by the way.
Yeah. Absolutely okay. You know why he's not clutch? Because he's only won 4 out of 10.
Okay.
4 out of 10.
Sure.
It's not the clutch factor. It's the killer instinct mentality. Like, I'm going to step on your neck and put you away.
Jordan did more with less
you don't
time.
Miss this, Joe.
Jordan did more with less time is basically what what we're analyzing.
And you're also you're also taking away 2 of Jordan in the precipice of his, the height of his
prime.
Yeah,
his prime.
And so you're taking away 2 years of that. Then you're taking away 2 years and when he quit, and then he joined with the Wizards just for financial reasons because he thought he was going to be an owner or whatever like that.
Do you guys believe the conspiracy theory behind that about him getting caught on gambling games?
I've heard that, and I could totally see that because he was the poster boy for the NBA.
Hey,
he absolutely carried it.
Yeah. So back to this debate, though, right? Okay. So it took Michael Jordan 7 years to get to the NBA Finals. Okay, and so other things I want to point out, right? Do you think that it matters what team you're playing on? Do you think it matters who your coach is? Does that? I'm just asking a question. Does
absolutely?
Not
so that might play into that, right? So I want to ask you a question.
He's the coach, yeah.
In the NBA, who has the most NBA championships all time?
Bill Russell.
That is incorrect. He has 11, but there's one person that has more.
Oh, is it Robert Horry?
It is Phil Jackson.
No. Oh, Phil Jackson.
Oh,
man.
No. Okay, I will explain. No. So
So
Phil Jackson has 13 rings. He won 2 of them with the Knicks in 1970 and 73. He played 12 years as a power forward. Okay,
6 with the Bulls.
Then he had 6 with the Bulls, and then he went on and had 5 with the Lakers.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Michael Jordan got to play with the best coach in history.
Or did Phil Jackson get to coach 2 of the greatest players ever in the NBA? You're talking Kobe Bryant, you're talking Michael Jordan, and you're talking Kobe Bryant with Shaq to win the first 3. So
that's a fair argument. That's a fair argument to make, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I totally agree. But when it comes to LeBron, I give LeBron kudos for a lot that he's done, because for the simple fact that he did make it to the finals before Jordan. He didn't win them. He had to go to Miami to do that, which fine, whatever. But in
So there's a reason he went to Miami, though,
Oh,
because he had
absolutely.
Kevin Garnett, he had Ray Allen, you had Ray John Rondo,
he didn't have
Yeah,
Kevin
but I
and he
Garnett.
had Paul Pierce all on the same team. Yeah.
I recently read a
Oh,
story.
you're talking about Boston.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
okay, I
so
got you.
that's the reason that he went to Miami, because there was no way he was going to stay in Cleveland at the time and compete with what was already a super team. That was a badass Boston Celtics team.
I recently
Oh,
read
yeah.
a story that actually LeBron and Dwayne Wade actually decided on the Heat.
Yeah.
They almost went to Chicago.
Yeah.
They almost
they-
went to Chicago.
That,
That
was,
would've
that
been
was
well.
huge. That was going on. Even,
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a big talk about it all because I think Dwayne Wade's from there or something.
Yep,
One
Dwayne
of
Wade's
them-
from Chicago.
And, LeBron,
He went to Marquette.
obviously from Ohio, geographically really, really close.
Close to Chicago.
So, yeah, I heard that when it was all going down that was a huge possibility. But then, the Miami stepped up, kept Dwayne Wade there, brought in Bosch, brought in LeBron.
It was all Pat Riley. Pat
Yeah,
Riley
oh,
did
yeah.
that.
And Riley, the fact that you were going to have a great coach, and then they did well in the draft, got Chalmers, brought in Ray Allen after he left Boston.
Oh,
and,
yep. Mhm.
So they did what they had to do.
Yeah. So, I think the thing with Michael Jordan, I think we all remember, and don't get me wrong, this was not an easy argument for me to ever try to make. When I first started looking into this at the beginning of our podcast season, I said that I felt that LeBron James really needed to win this year to even be considered the GOAT, to really have that real conversation, right?
Because it comes down to rings.
Yeah, you could say that. But the more I started digging in, because if we say it came down to rings, then we got to say Bill Russell's the greatest basketball player of all time, right? If we're going to say that it's rings. So if we're not going to say it's rings, then I think that argument goes away, right? Then we want to look at some other factors. It's no coincidence that some of the best teams in history have something in common. They have they have famous coaches, right? Historic coaches, and they have
Red
historic
Auerbach.
players, right?
Yeah.
You had Michael Jordan had Phil Jackson, so did Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Bill Russell had Red Auerbach.
Steph
right?
Curry has Steve Kerr.
Popovich.
Exactly. Popovich was
yeah.
with Tim Duncan. Do you know who? Can you name 3 coaches? And I think you actually can, but can you name 3 coaches for LeBron James?
Well, obviously there's Darvin Ham,
Tyronn Lue.
Tyronn Lue.
Yep. Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah.
Spoelstra in
Eric
Miami,
Spoelstra. Yeah.
Spoelstra is actually pretty good.
He's
So,
a really good coach.
Is he
but
really? So what did he do after he left the Heat?
I don't know. He's got Jimmy Butler right now.
He's in.
Is he
he's
the,
still in Miami? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still
So
there.
he's back there in Miami. I had actually no idea that he was still there.
Yeah.
Is he the
Oh,
head
yeah.
coach for Miami?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good shit. Okay.
Yeah.
He's
killing
still around. See, and that's where it gets kind of.
So we also had.
We're going to end this real quick with the whole GOAT debate. Like my whole thing when it comes to a GOAT is like it's not about statistics. It's just I love that killer mentality with guys that'll step on your neck and put you away when it's.
Who do you
time
want
to
on the
put you
game
away.
when the game is on the
you
line?
know,
Right.
Like
No, I got you.
honestly, like if I were to build a team and I want to win championships, I'm going to take Michael Jordan. But if I want a guy to add to my team to make it better, I will absolutely take LeBron James because he makes everybody on the court better around him. But he's not going to be the man that's just going to own a game in the last 5 minutes. Say, I need 20 points from you.
But you say that, but the statistics say otherwise, right? The statistics show that him and Kobe Bryant are actually more clutch than Michael Jordan. Again, I think these myths or these legends sometimes grow as we get older,
it's
right?
not just about
we
being
get these
full,
emotional
just taking over a game.
We get these attachments. Yeah. And LeBron James has took over some games. Are you
Yes.
kidding? When he was down 3-1 to the Boston Celtics, okay, he scored, I think he scored like 40 some points. He had a triple double. He took over that entire series. He put that team on his back. Okay. He has showed clutch moments. Again, the stats will show you that in history, Kobe Bryant's number 1 for most clutch shots in the history of the NBA.
Yep.
LeBron James is number 2. When you look at just the playoffs,
You're looking at just shots. though.
LeBron James is actually okay. So if we're looking at just shots, did you know that LeBron James is number 3 in all-time assists? Number 3 in all-time assists.
Because he's played
num-
for so long.
It doesn't matter.
Didn't he just
but-
recently
he's
pass
played
John
for a
Stockton?
bunch of
Yeah. You know something that
great
rarely
teams.
doesn't happen? Somebody rarely doesn't come out.
So what? What the computer screen says.
And
Yeah.
points. Okay. No one really does that. LeBron did. You know why? Because LeBron James can do everything. Michael
So
Jordan
can
was
Nikola
great.
Jokic.
Yeah.
And Michael
I think
Jordan
that's why
can
they call him
do.
King James.
And here's the thing: Michael Jordan can do everything as well. But the difference is LeBron James is bigger, faster, stronger.
LeBron can play 1 through 5. Michael
Okay.
Jordan cannot.
Exactly.
Little known fact, I can't remember what year it was when Michael Jordan actually had to play point guard. He averaged a triple double. Did you guys know that? For like there was a run where it was
Like
like
2 weeks.
10 games in a row. 10 games in a row. he was averaging almost a triple-double because he was passing the ball. He was doing what he had to do to facilitate the team. But that's not his role. His role is to put points up, take control of a game, and fucking slam dunk on everybody that gets in the way.
And how come Russell Westbrook can't win games? That dude is like Mr. Triple Double.
Exactly.
Russell
Westbrook. That's why
he
stats
is
don't buy it.
See, that's what I'm saying.
He will mess up your team chemistry so quick.
Okay.
Do not bring that guy to your team.
So here's a nice transition for you. So
him
just
or
like
Kyrie Irving.
just like the GOAT in basketball, I like guys that go for the throat. Same thing with the UFC. I like guys that don't just win rounds. They want to win fights. They want to knock people out. They want to submit somebody. Those are the kind of fighters that I like. So when you start talking about GOATs in NBA, we're talking about, let's say, the GOAT in the UFC.
John Jones.
John Jones.
Gotta be John Jones.
John Jones is a killer because he goes out there and his whole thing isn't just to win the round, is to humiliate the guy in front of him.
I actually bet on John Jones last time.
He has
submission.
Excuse me, though. No, I have to correct this. John Jones has actually, unfortunately, there's been a good handful of fights that he went out there and fought for the decision. I hate to say he's had a couple like that.
He did, yeah.
But with that being said, I think him being back at heavyweight, I feel like we have the old John Jones back, because you're right. When John Jones first came to the scene and he was the champion for the first couple of years, that dude went in there with reckless abandon, throwing his elbows from all these different angles.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel a lot of fighters do this, right? They get in there, they come in with this reckless abandon at first, and that's what makes them great. But
they want to stay on top, and so they feel like they have to become that round.
Yeah,
and it goes same thing with boxing. Like, I don't like boxers. That's why everybody wants to talk about Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was a great technical boxer. He could
defensive boxer.
Yeah, he was a great technical boxer, defensive boxer. He will win rounds. He was not the guy that was going to knock you out. You walk into a round with you walk into the ring with the Pacquiao, or you walk into a ring with
De La
Hoya.
He lost that fight.
Yeah, a lot of those guys want to take your head off. They want to win. They want to win, in great fashion. Where Mayweather, there were a couple times where I've seen Mayweather get rocked, and then all of a sudden he's going to his, shoulder roll. He's just ducking everything, stuff like that. So that's where it stands with everything with me. It's just like, I want to see guys that just are super assertive and just like take over everything. And that's what, the UFC. And have you seen the new guy coming up, Bo Nickel?
Oh yeah, I've been following Bo Nickel very close.
Be ridiculous if he gets his stand-up game to where he's boxing, he is going to be untouchable.
Here's the thing: and a lot of wrestlers make this mistake, right? If he came in and he sticks to the wrestling, he's gonna probably go through everybody that he fights.
Yeah,
you're right. If he gets his striking down, that's great too. But he's got to remember where he came from, right? And you'll see it with a lot of fighters actually, where they want to be that exciting fighter that strikes. Just make sure that you're staying in your lane. I have confidence in the guy. He's obviously very accomplished, but I think we're going to see a lot of ground and pound situations from him.
Yeah, he reminds me of a lot of a Matt Hughes. Like, he can dominate, the stand up to where he can get, like, obviously he's got to learn how to box first, but then if that doesn't work, he can take you to the ground at any given point. He is that good at wrestling. He's a 3-time NCAA championship. And I think as a redshirt freshman, he took the silver. So he's very accomplished as a wrestler. So what he just needs to learn is the stand up. Nobody's going to take the guy down, and if they do, I'll be very, very surprised.
Oh, he has to learn how to kick somebody's ass.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And then once he gets on top of you, he's going to own you, because no matter what they say, I think wrestling takes a lot of stamina. It's a whole nother level of just,
Well, you're not bouncing around. You're looking to throw a punch. You're constantly using your muscles. You're going brawn and brawn against somebody on the floor.
Yeah.
And you're constantly at it, and there's no break. There's no let up.
No. And I wrestled just in high school, middle school, whatever like that, and those are some of the worst practices that I've ever had to go. They're just freaking grueling. You know what I mean? It's just constant, like you said, constant movement, constant muscle tension, and
and not a lot of food too.
Yeah. Hey, so we were.
I never had to worry about cutting weight.
Hey, so we were talking about John Jones. So it's probably worth mentioning. I feel like he has his biggest challenge coming up. He's fighting Stipe Miocic at UFC 290 on July 8th. Here's my take on that fight, real quick.
He's moving up in weight, correct?
Well, So he's a heavyweight. He actually moved up, and he fought Cyril Gane for the title and destroyed him within the first round. He actually called it before. He said, he goes, I'm going to make this look so easy. And then a lot of people were skeptical about that, me included, because I thought Cyril Gane was going to give him some matchup problems. But ultimately, I knew John would win. But John folded him like a lawn chair. So Stipe is really good at striking. He's not a huge wrestler, but he's not easy to take down either. And so that fight I look forward to. I think John Jones wants the knockout. And so I look for John Jones in 2 on that one.
So now what I want to see him, he's kind of picking his fights in the heavyweight. If he wants to prove himself at heavyweight, fight Francis Ngannou.
No,
Let's see what happens.
Right. No. He wants to fight Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou ran. He knew John. No. He knew John Jones was coming. He became the champ, and then all of a sudden, Francis Ngannou wanted these millions of dollars. But guess what? Before he became the champ, he wasn't super exciting to watch. Sure, he was knocking people out, but when you look at the numbers, he wasn't getting a lot of the numbers unless he had a really strong matchup, right? But make no mistake about it, Francis Ngannou ran. He knew John Jones was coming.
I don't think he
didn't
was running
want
from Ngannou.
nothing.
That's a little bit
So
of a
here's the
stretch
thing.
for me.
So if Francis really wanted to prove that he was the best, he would have stuck around and waited for John Jones. But where's he at? He's trying to
He
box.
wants a payday.
He wants to fight a boxer.
Yeah.
Guess
Well-
what? John Jones would have been his biggest payday to date.
Okay, so you're kind of discrediting Nate Diaz at the same time. What's Nate Diaz
Why?
doing? He's fighting one of the what are the brothers' names?
But here's the thing. Nate
They're
Diaz
chasing the money now.
But Nate Diaz was never considered
is
a guy
that?
that could become a champ. That's a completely different. That's not even the same thing. That's apples and oranges, right? Because Nate Diaz is not the caliber of fighter that John Jones. So Nate Diaz don't have to go out and do anything, improve anything, because no one thinks that Nate Diaz is the best. No one thinks that.
He's not the marquee
Nate
name
Diaz
like
had
John
his
Jones
moments.
is.
I mean,
Yeah,
not
he
now.
had his moments. He's one of the funnest fighters to watch, but most of us that watch him, we understand that he's going to lose almost half of his fights, unfortunately. But he's so much fun to watch.
I will say that I did take John Jones by submission last time, and I did win some money. Risky Ray.
Hey, no,
taking
that
it.
was a good safe bet to take. Man.
But
Take the
this
money.
next time, I'm only going to take John Jones money line. So that's it.
Hey, so I'm curious, and we talked about this the last time, guys. I know we're going to be wrapping up here shortly, but
Yeah, I got to get Joe back in here. So.
the Joe, you want to come back in, or
You want to come back in, or are you going to wait for my announcement? Yeah, I got an announcement. It's kind of like a Kurt Loder type thing.
Oh, okay.
You
Let's
know?
hear
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Breaking
First one.
news.
hey, so is
Breaking
it
news.
does it take away from what we're talking about? We could do something real quick and then go to that, or
No,
okay, go ahead.
Nope, not at all. I'm joining a cult.
Okay,
Very nice.
you guys heard it
Very
here.
nice.
Raymundo is joining the
So
at Astra Boys.
Are,
cult.
are we one of these like the comet? There's UFO behind the comet type. Or
I think
what?
you guys are familiar
Mailbox
with. I think
comment,
you guys
exactly.
are. I think you guys are familiar with it. It's called. How many subscribers do we have?
We may be
30?
up to 30 now.
I
Maybe
think
up
we
to
might
30?
be up to 30,
Maybe up to
31.
30? 30? Okay,
The
all right.
Minority presence is starting to have an impact. So
Right. Okay, cool. All right. Well, you heard it here first. The cult I'm getting ready to join is fatherhood.
Oh,
okay.
You
That's
heard
a
it
hell
here
of an
live.
announcement.
Congratulations for Risky. Hey, apparently Risky Raymundo was very risque in the bedroom.
Yeah, right.
Very nice. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I just wanted to get that in there.
I know it took me like 20 seconds to find that button, damn it. But we found it.
That's all right. That's all right.
Hey, well, congratulations, man. That's awesome, man.
Hey.
Happy to hear that for you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know,
I will say this. At one time, I had aspirations of a man cave, and then children happened, and that went to shit. Just a warning. Just a fair warning.
see, that's why I got my pool table before that happens.
Yeah, establish. Hey, look, you establish the room before they get there.
That's
I
right.
did Al that
That's
had the
right.
Derek Thomas jersey up, all the sports memorabilia up, and you guess what? We're playing Fortnite on the 60-inch TV in the man cave.
Yep,
Hey, next time, hey, you should have just got better locks. I'm gonna tell you, buddy.
I'm gonna have to
Hey,
invest.
so real quick though, right? Because we talked about this last week. I kind of feel like, at least here in the United States, that the UFC has kind of an identity problem, but I feel like they have an opportunity here over the next year to really bring themselves back within the United States, bring some of that popularity back. I'm curious, guys. Do you guys know who the different champions are? I'll be honest. I knew most of them. I had to look up one of them. So
In every weight class,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I really don't. Because the only thing is that you have a lot of guys that jump weights. You have a lot of guys that, have to surrender belts because they don't fight the fights that they want in the UFC. So honestly, but, I am very aware of like the fighters and like who's on top, who's kind of whatever like that.
and I'm with you on that. I haven't. When I looked at this list, one of them I wasn't sure on. I was like, okay, so yeah, okay, so it is him. He is the champ, right? And then the other one I didn't realize. So here's the current champs for anyone that's curious, right?
Okay, yeah.
So obviously you got John Jones came back, took the heavyweight title. He's going to reign for a long time,
Got
right?
him.
Light heavyweight. People aren't going to know this. Jay Mahal. I can't even say his name, right? Something Hill. John Mahal Hill, right?
Yeah. So he's one. I
And-
think he got his from because someone had to surrender.
Yeah,
their
I
belt.
think it was one of those
John
situations,
Jones,
right?
right?
So
He
no
was
one
a light
really
heavyweight.
cares. Yeah, I
Okay.
think he took it from. So he fought somebody and got
Okay,
the
so,
title,
yeah,
right?
I didn't know
But
that one.
I think they're about to strip it because of inactivity. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what's happening there. You got middleweight Israel Adesanya,
I knew him.
adding a lot of excitement back. He had a
He had a hell of a
rubber
fight.
match
Yeah.
with Alex
Well,
Pereira.
it wasn't even a rubber match.
You're
he
right.
was down.
You're right. He was down
2-0 in the
It was not a
UFC
rubber
and then
match.
1-0 in some other.
It was a legacy fight.
Kickboxing,
It was
yeah,
like if
kickboxing
you
or
don't win
something,
this fight, like the legacy you was trying to build, it is over.
it
right?
goes away. Absolutely.
And man, the fashion, he's finished that fight in spectacular fashion, man.
Yeah, he did.
I remember texting after the fight right away. I was like, "Oh my god, did you guys just see that fight?" I was like, "He did the rope-a-dope in the UFC. He sat there. He looked like he was getting his ass beat,
Yeah.
right?" And I was like, "Oh no, he's gonna go." I thought he was gonna get knocked out, to be honest. And then out of nowhere, he's just getting teed off on. He just comes right through with the straight right, and he knocks the boogeyman the fuck out.
I will say
man.
that in UFC, you always had that one punch,
Yeah.
the hitter's chance or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody has that.
All it
You
takes
can-
is
you can
one
get
punch.
caught.
All it
You
takes
can
is
get-
one
Yes.
punch.
You
Here
can be
was the-
dominating
yes.
somebody and just get caught, and you're
Yeah.
done.
And here's the
Yeah.
best part of
Yeah.
that finish, right? Before they Alex Pereira came to the ring, he always does this thing, right? He has this
the puncher's chance. That's
he
what I
has
was
this
thinking.
hunting music when you come into the ring. He sounds like the fucking warrior walking into the ring, right? And he's big for that weight class. So people see this bigger guy. Well, he'll stop halfway and he lets out this fucking horrifying scream, right? And he pretends to shoot an arrow at them.
Oh,
So,
yeah, at the
as
end of
soon-
the fight.
That's how smart Izzy is. As soon
Oh,
as he
yeah.
knocked him out, he knew he took those arrows out, fucking returned to sender,
Yeah.
and he put those arrows
Hey,
right back
so
in
you
Pereira.
know who else did that? Not that exactly, but Wilder when he knocked down Fury.
Oh,
He
yeah.
thought it was over.
He thought it was over.
He thought it was
When
over?
Fury got back up on that 8, he was
done.
He was on his
Hey,
back
Wilder,
on 8.
yeah.
It was already in Wilder's head. Like, I can't beat this dude.
Yeah.
He got up like the Undertaker in that fight, man. He got
Yeah.
straight up like the Undertaker. I was like,
Yeah, it was
he
8.
just
And
stood up.
I mean, he was just laying there, and then 8.
Yeah,
the
popped
ref
up
hit
like
8, and he was like,
nothing.
boom. And then he goes,
Hey,
"Come to me."
Hey, real quick, I just want to say congratulations to my stepdaughter Ariana Perez for graduating high school this year,
Oh, very nice.
and she's moving on. Her next step is going to be K-State.
All right, congratulations, Ariana. Good work. Good job.
So last week she was showing me the K-State shirt she bought, and I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
So now
Awful.
you make me feel like shit because I didn't even give a shout out to my own son. But thanks, bud.
Well, you need to get on top of your game, Ken.
Oh, pull up the rest of that list, Tony. I want to hear. I want to know how many more that I knew of the UFC.
So there was Brendan Moreno.
Nope.
He is the lightweight champion. I want to say 125. I'll see if I can do this without pulling up the list. You have Alexander Volkanovski,
Volkanovski,
which he recently had fought for the. He should be he should have 2 titles right now.
He's talking about fighting somebody big. I can't remember.
Well,
who
he already fought that.
no.
bigger
There was
guy.
another, not heavier in weight. I'm talking like another big, like key matchup that was. going
Oh
to
yeah,
happen.
there's another key matchup, and I already forgot who the hell he's fighting again next. But he
I
has a
did
key
too.
matchup
Damn
coming
it.
up. But he
I'm
had
3-3.
a fight with a guy that they said was, hey, Islam Chaka. Like people are gonna make fun of me because I'm mispronouncing these names terribly, but
white
that's okay.
pronunciations.
Apparently, yes.
hey,
and
don't worry. Now we're in bonus time.
bonus time. Hold on,
Bonus
Ken. We're gonna get those names up
time.
because I
Yeah.
might need. It's
I'm-
like I
I'm-
told you, I might
I'm-
need a little help. I
I'm
can't
3
name
out
all
of
the
3.
women.
Yeah, don't.
that
Yeah,
are there.
don't, I'm
so
not. You know,
we're not
I
even gonna
give-
go
I give
there yet.
Props to some of the women, but yeah, I don't.
I
keep
could
track
tell
of
you
that.
Amanda Nunez and Zaylee Wang, and I can't tell you what weight class.
Nunez,
So there's
okay.
that. So
Are we done with the UFC?
so
No,
real
he's gonna
quick,
reel off the
okay.
titles.
So
Okay,
here's real quick,
okay.
and just
Just go.
We'll do this briefly,
Just go by
right?
names. Yeah.
So you have Leon Edwards, welterweight, right? He has
Oh.
an upcoming fight with Colby Covington.
Covington.
People, that's an exciting fight. I got Covington in that fight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he's gonna beat him with ground and pound. You got lightweight at 155, Islam Kashev. He fought him and so Alexander Volkanovski, who is the featherweight champion at 145. They had a fight about 2 months ago, and I gotta say, Alexander won that fight. I feel like he got robbed. So that's why they still have him as the number 2 pound for pound fighter behind John Jones, even though he lost that fight.
Reel him
so you got sorry. Yes. Back to it. So bantamweight at 135, you got Aljamain Sterling. He just recently fought Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C.
Yeah.
Triple C I think Triple C won that fight.
4-4. Okay.
And that was it. Flyweight Brandon Marina. So I think you only missed a couple of them.
I missed 4. I know the 4 and I don't know the other 4. So
that's not bad. Like if you can know at least 4 of the UFC champions, I think you're doing a pretty good job. That's better than most. That's better than most.
Yeah, some of those guys. But one thing you do notice, a lot of those guys are like Eastern European guys. Russian, Eastern European descent. Not a lot of Americans left in there.
No, so you had Triple C, you have Kobe Covington in there.
That's Mexican.
Like all sports.
You're looking
all
at
sports are
Jones and
like
Cejudo,
and John Jones, and they want Justin Gaethje to be a champion so bad. I don't think it's going to happen though. Unfortunately, he just don't have the skill.
All sports are becoming like worldwide. Besides football's all American, but all the other sports
American dominated.
All
Absolutely.
all from
baseball.
Everywhere.
That's all Central American. You got the Dominicans.
You
have a lot of
Asian
Venezuelans.
too,
Now you're seeing a lot of Asians coming over.
You should hit the button, Tony.
Oh, right. Oh, that's all right. That would have been perfect, though. Oh, yeah, real quick. So I forgot to mention. I'll go ahead and mention it. So I want to talk about a local star from Lee Summit, actually. Kansas City bad boy, Alan Olivas.
Yeah.
Alan Olivas. So the little bit I know about him, I'll just tell you guys real quick. He is he's been fighting since he was a kid, so he's been in this in his entire life. He did come out. He lost his first 2 professional fights, but he's now ran off 8 victories in a row, 5 of those being finishes. So I did watch a couple of his fights. The guy's tenacious. If he's not knocking you out on his feet, he's getting you on your back and he's going for that submission. So he will have some fights coming up later this year. So look out for local bad boy Alan Olivas on his quest to the UFC.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we thinking he's gonna make it to the UFC?
I don't know. So I work with his brother. And
really?
This is how I found out about him, right? And now his brother, I will tell you, his brother is a very disciplined person, does his job very well. He'll joke around about stuff, but I mean, he's all business first, right? And so I have a feeling his brother is a lot like him, and his discipline just happens to be fighting. And he's, from what I've seen, what his brother told me, and from what I've seen, he's really good. One thing that I did really take note of, though, was after his last fight, he holds a title, by the way, at 135. I don't remember the name of the title, but it's one of the local titles here.
Okay.
He actually trains out of MMA Glory.
I was just about to ask that.
Yes. So he trains. MMA Glory has produced some UFC fighters in the past. Probably the most notable one would be Tim Elliott, who actually did fight for the title at one point in his career. So MMA Glory is definitely putting out some good fighters. Alan Olivas is one of them. And the thing that I did know is that after his last fight, there was a chant coming from the crowd, and that chant was UFC. They were chanting UFC in the crowd.
Sounds like he's ready to move up.
He looks like he's definitely ready for that contender series with Dana White.
Alan Olivas coming out of Lee Summit. You got Felix Anudike-Uzama, the Chiefs' #1 draft pick, coming out of Lee Summit. Little known player that also played at Lee Summit High School, Mitchell Tinsley, played a couple years at a JUCO, I want to say Hutchinson JUCO, then went to Western Kentucky, then played for Penn State his senior year, and actually got a free agent signing with the Washington Commanders. Also out of Lee Summit.
So what we're saying is that Lee Summit sucks.
I was about to say,
some athletes.
The only great thing about I've heard about Lee Summit so far is Keaton.
There we go, baby.
Thank you, Tony Hanna.
Has some problems with Lee Summit.
So Tony, I know you have your hat on, but I hear you recently got a haircut.
Oh, I did. By the way,
this should be entertaining.
Thank you for mentioning that, because I forgot, right? And it's Coop Styles, by the way, very cool barber. Or barberess. What do you call a female barber, by the way?
A hairstylist?
A hairstylist. See, there you go. I've got my haircut for years at Greg's barbershop, so I always think barber, right? So yes, a great hairstylist, by the way. Coop Styles, she told me after I was done getting my haircut, you better not put a hat on. Don't worry, Coop. I got you. I'm going to put a nice little picture of me and my haircut right here.
What's her last name?
I'm going to put her phone number up right here. Everyone, you guys can call her, get her booked. And she does everything. Look, she could take out that straight razor, get you looking all fresh, right? She made me look fresh. She can definitely make you look fresh. Okay,
That's for sure.
She
a lot of work.
Look,
A lot of work.
she does braids, locks. So if you got kids, don't matter what you need done. If it's hair, Coop Styles got you.
There we go. Hey, I want to finish up real quick with some college basketball. So
Where do you want to go with that? You want to start with KU or all the other nonsense going on?
are you talking about the Bob Huggins nonsense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about the Bob Huggins nonsense.
Okay.
What I really want to touch on is that KU has 2 returning players only.
2.
Now, I think they're going to have they're going to be the number 1 team.
They've worked wonders in the portal.
Man, the portal, and that was my question. Like, this is the new college basketball.
Yes.
NIL portal.
NIL has played a huge.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh. So that I don't know if you guys picked up the article where they were saying Hunter Dickerson, the main reason why he came to KU is because he was making only, let me just say only,
like 80 grand.
Yeah, like 6 figures on his NIL
He said
deal.
under 6 figures.
Oh, is that what it was? Under.
Yeah.
He was making under 6 figures on an NIL deal. And something that I read, I don't know how true it is, but they said that his NIL deal with KU was worth millions.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
that
2
is
years,
correct.
4 million.
Yeah, and
That's
I was
insane.
just like,
That's the rumors.
anybody in their right mind. That's like saying, are you willing to leave your job right now for $1 million? Yeah, twice.
No, so Hunter Dickerson, he actually was on a podcast saying that I don't know why everyone's hating on me. If you were offered 10,000 more in your job, you would take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like,
And he was offered $1 million more on his job.
so the question is like, well, I know it's a question, but like, I'm kind of like, I'm in a struggle because I'm like, I kind of like the old way because KU always had that 4-year player. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Frank Mason worked his way up, player of the year.
Yeah.
Ochai Abaji.
Devontae
Graham.
Devontae Graham.
Chalmers. He left as a junior.
I mean, even go back to Danny Manning. He stayed all 4 years.
Danny Manning.
I mean, we always had those players that Kurt Heinrich. When he first started, did you think Kurt Heinrich was going to be a lottery pick?
No.
No, man.
I knew Nick Collison was.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, because he was like 6'10".
Oh yeah, he's a big guy. So anyway, when you're talking about that, that was probably that actually it is the reason why Roy Williams retired when the transfer portal was
Jay Wright
initiated.
too.
Yep, because there's no more loyalty.
It's a different style.
It's a different style. Yeah, exactly. And it feels very NBA-ish. But if you ask me, I kind of like it.
It's working well for KU.
Correct. Yes.
It's adapt or die, basically,
It is. It is.
Bill Self is doing a great job of it. He's understanding that, you
got to
have leadership, which is your, juniors, seniors, guys like that who are in the portal that can make a difference on the team.
Exactly.
And then you still need the young talent that they can influence. You know what I mean?
So
well, that's why I really like DeJuan Harris because he's not in the transfer portal and he's going to be there. Yes, that's why I really got his jersey.
So Bill Self did say that KU was behind on the portal the past couple of years.
Yeah, I think they wanted to see how it was going to pan out.
He was like, we are fully ready now. We're locked and loaded.
Yeah.
And after the whole Adidas shabacle, you know what I mean? I think they just wanted to see how it was all going to
pan out.
pan out.
Still hasn't came out.
No, it still hasn't been cleared up.
Maybe never will. I don't know.
I don't know. Bill Self's already done his time.
So McCullers, McCullers.
That was my conspiracy theory. He sat out of the NCAA tournament because of that.
Yep.
So
that's mine.
McCullers, obviously he's going through the NBA draft, a testing or whatever. But he needs to come back to KU.
I think
he's going to make more money here. And we've talked about this on the show before, how if you're playing in the G League, you're playing for minimal dollars in shitty gyms with no fans.
I want to say it was $70,000.
If you come back to KU, he's going to make a couple $100,000
minimum.
Room and board paid for.
Yep.
And he's playing in meaningful games.
And you're living the college life.
Yeah, and you got to throw education in there too. You got to throw a little bit of.
He's going to
be. I mean, whether it's true or not, you got to say it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to influence young children who probably aren't watching this podcast.
So, Paul,
but you and your fatherhood state. Yeah, you want to.
Oh, man. So, Paul Pierce went to KU for 3 years. How many classes do you think he went to?
Man, I worked with a bartender who used to smoke dope with him and sell drugs.
Smoke
And
dope.
he said that he never went to class.
Not the one that shanked him, was it? It's
No,
not the one that shanked him, was it?
No, it wasn't. No. That was a rapper. That was a rapper.
Okay, so in all honesty, so we all, not all of us, me and Joe went to KU back then when we had Jock Vaughn, Paul Pierce, Rafe LaFrance,
Lucky Ducks.
Scott Pollard, Greg
It was
Ostertag.
97. The team of
No,
the
no.
best. Yeah, 97.
97.
94, 95.
Well, we was
Well,
there in
Jock Vaughn was still
95.
there.
Yeah.
But 97 was the year. It was like
We were number one overall.
because we was there. That was when 97 was when Pierce was a junior. We were there
Yeah.
when he was a freshman.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
when we were there,
Yep.
but we were there when Jock Vaughn was a freshman, and I went into class. I had a sociology class with Jock Vaughn as a freshman, and I will say Jock Vaughn was in class every single day
Reading the newspaper.
reading the newspaper. He read the sports page. I busted
Wow.
my ass in this class. Paid attention. It was a really cool class. I really did love it. I wish I remembered my professor's name, but Jock Vaughn was there every single day. Showed up, read the sports page. Never took a note. Never did anything else. He was an academic All-American.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Ooh.
I will give him props for being there. Multiple
Well,
times
son.
I saw Scott Pollard in class, stuff like that.
Well, what did they say about the best ability?
What?
What your best ability is? Availability.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
He was an academic All-American.
So, do we want to touch Bob Huggins situation? Do we even want to touch that?
You know what? If you
Absolutely.
want, I was gonna say if you want to,
I guess
sure. go ahead.
Ken wants it, man. Go for it. That's all you, buddy.
So Bob Huggins was on a sports cast, much like ours, but much more popular, I'm sure, that he referred to.
Yeah, if it was this one, he said it on it, but 30 people would have seen it.
It still would have got our, but I guarantee our viewership would have hit.
Oh yeah, we'd have.
We
we'd
may have hit the hundreds by then.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
But I can't even remember the.
So it was an anti-gay slur, correct?
He basically
He
said
said the F word.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah,
With
he
the
referred
three letters.
to them. He referred to them as
Yep.
fags.
a bundle of sticks
Here we go.
Yeah,
There we
bundle.
go. You
There
just
you
had-
go.
you
Or
just
a
had it.
cigarette.
or a cigarette. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it
Circa
referred to
1920
their
something.
religious beliefs. I believe you called because it was Xavier University that he was
Yeah, that's
referring
what he
to.
said.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Xavier University referred to him as Catholic
Click action.
cigarettes.
So
Cigarettes. Yeah.
So I heard one guy was saying that so Bob Huggins has been in this business for 40 years. He
Yeah, long
knows
time.
how to
Yeah.
give an interview. He knows what he can and cannot say.
Yes,
Ken said it.
He already
But-
said
Flat
it.
out.
And he
Ken
said
said it.
but hey,
a bundle of sticks.
you're just
Bundle of
reiterating what
sticks.
somebody says. I don't care.
But anyway, so Bob Huggins knows what to say and not to say.
Yes.
Right.
So someone said that he was either drunk
That's possible.
That's very, very
or
possible.
he didn't know that he was actually on air.
Mm.
That it was like,
Ooh.
because
I
he was
don't
there
buy
on
that.
break. Yes.
I think
Oh.
Didn't know.
I think
We're
Bob
actually on?
Haggins.
We're actually on.
I think Bob Huggins has that old school mentality where it's
Oh,
just
I
like,
guarantee
just
that he says
say-
it all the time.
Bob Huggins is like a Bob Knight. Bob Knight would never filter himself, didn't give a shit what anybody else thought about him. He would just say what's on his mind. And I guarantee you that's what he was doing. He was just bullshitting with the boys. And, it just
No,
It slipped.
because
I don't think
wasn't
it's
it something like
this is
some
like
Xavier were throwing dildos or something out on the court or something. Can't remember what. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
See. Okay. Well,
So they
then
were
there you
throwing
go.
dildos out on the court.
so why were they
And-
throwing dildos? What was that about?
It was during a game, and that's what
because he's
brought
a
it all
dick.
back. And then some.
But also
All right, bonus time is only 15 minutes, and we're going to wrap it up here. A like and share.
We
and
don't get a
will
bonus
see
bonus?
you
Double
for
bonus?
episode 9 next week, buddy. There we go.
Peace.
Tony, we're out.